The beginning of Season 2 is from the end of Season 1, in which Seong leaves the airport and then gets a call from the frontman. The frontman says, "Now you have no one left and you should go to America to be with your daughter." Seong looks around and realizes that the frontman was somehow watching him. Seong said, "Now I will find you and end your game." After this, Seong left from there, went to a shop, and bought a cutter. After going to the washroom, he checked himself and found a chip behind his ear, which the front man was using to keep an eye on him. Seong cut that chip out with the cutter. On the other hand, we see Jun-ho in a hospital, who had fallen into the water but survived and was currently in a coma. After some time, Jun-ho regains consciousness. At that moment, his mother comes to him and becomes very happy to see her son. After this, the story is shown 2 years later. Jun-ho and his companions stop a couple because they weren't wearing helmets. That girl comes to Jun-ho and starts flirting with him because Jun-ho is very handsome. Jun-ho fined that boy and he left his girlfriend there and went away. Seeing this, Jun-ho starts laughing. Then Jun-ho's senior meets him and they both talk about Jun-ho's past. Jun-ho tries to pretend in front of them that after regaining consciousness, he doesn't remember anything. Jun-ho's senior tells him about the island in the game and says, "We have no evidence." To this, Jun-ho says, "That's why I am working in the traffic department, because all crimes surface here, and there is no need for evidence." The senior asks, "Who shot you? Did you see his face?" Jun-ho lies, "No, I didn't see." Then Jun-ho goes to the police station, dresses his wound, and looks at his injury. At that moment, he remembers that he had shot the front man in the shoulder. When the front man removed his mask, Jun-ho realized that the front man was his brother, In-ho. In-ho shot Jun-ho in the shoulder, and recalling this, Jun-ho felt very sad. On the other side, a couple went to a hotel to have fun, but when the electricity went out, both of them left the place. Seong had bought that entire hotel. Just then, the doorbell rang, and Seong saw that someone had left a game card for him again. He opened the door and found the front man standing there with Dai and Cho's throats in his hands. Seeing this, Seong got scared and started shooting at the front man. But all of this was a dream. Later, a thug named Yong came to the hotel and said, "For the past 2 years, I've been sending all the men to the station, but so far we haven't seen a single salesman playing dakchi there." Seong said, "It's been 2 years since my game ended, and by now, they must be choosing people for that game. That's why you need to get more people involved in this task." Yong said, "This will cost a lot of money." Then Seong gave him 10 million yuan and said, "Find that man by any means, or else we'll have to wait another year again." Yong agreed and went outside to instruct his men to involve more people in the work. There, his companion named Choi said, "This will cost a lot of money." Then, Yong replied, "Seong has given us a lot of money. Moreover, he has returned the money I gave him years ago, and now he has entrusted me with this task and promised that if we catch that salesman, he will give us 1 billion yuan. Hearing this, everyone became very happy and was ready to work wholeheartedly. Next, Jun-ho meets the boatman who had earlier saved Jun-ho's life and pulled him out of the water. Jun-ho had been traveling with him for the past year and a half, visiting all the nearby islands so that he could find his brother. Next, Choi and Yong inform all their companions about the salesman, who was a 6-foot-tall, very good-looking man. He played dakchi with people, gave them money, handed them his card, and then left. All of them had to keep an eye on every station in Korea because the salesman was expected to meet people somewhere there. They all got stationed there. Meanwhile, Jun-ho was searching for the island, but he couldn't find anything on any of the islands. On his way back, the boatman said to Jun-ho, "You go to the islands every time, but you don't find anything. You should now forget about the island and the game, because the winds in this area are very strong. Your body was found floating near one of the thousands of islands here." Then Jun-ho said, "From today onward, we won't go searching for the island anymore." On the other side, all the goons were searching for the salesman at the stations, but couldn't find anything. Days kept passing like this. Seeing this, Seong was very upset. One day, Choi and Yong were sitting at the station. At that time, Choi said, "Sir, we've been searching for that man for the past 2 years, but perhaps such a man doesn't even exist. Do you still believe in what Seong said?" Then Yong said, "Seong returned after winning money from that game. He also cleared all his debts. I don't think he could spend so much money without a reason. He must know something." Right then, they heard the sound of dakchi cards falling. They looked and saw the salesman playing dakchi with someone. That boy won, and the salesman gave him money along with a card. Seeing all this, they called Seong and said, "Come here right now." Then they started following the salesman. The boy who had received the card looked at the numbers on it, and at that moment he got a call from his girlfriend, Kang, which he cut off. In reality, his girlfriend was at an abortion center, and she felt very sad when her boyfriend didn't answer her call. She also had the same card with her. In the next scene, we see the salesman approaching beggars in a park, offering them either food or a lottery ticket. Most of the beggars chose the lottery ticket and ended up losing. Then the salesman ruined all the remaining food by crushing it and said, "You all had one chance to eat, but you chose your fate yourselves." Meanwhile, Seong drove quickly to reach the location, but Jun-ho and his partner stopped his car. Jun-ho sent his partner to find Seong, who quickly paid the fine and left. Jun-ho became suspicious of Seong's haste, checked his card, and began recognizing him. On the other hand, the two men kept following the salesman and decided to catch them themselves. The salesman captured them and beat them severely. Meanwhile, when Jun-ho learned about Seong, he discovered that Seong met him to learn about his brother, but refused to reveal anything about the game. When Seong reached the location, he saw blood and a knife belonging to Yong there. The salesman was watching him from above. He approached them and said, "Now you two will play rock, paper, scissors. Whoever loses, I'll shoot them." He loaded a single bullet into his gun, and their game began, but neither of them was getting shot. Then the salesman added 5 bullets to the gun, leaving only one chance for survival. Yong deliberately lost to save Choi, and the salesman killed him. Next, Jun-ho reached Seong's office, which was closed. He climbed the wall to enter and found the salesman's dummy and the same card there. Then, a thug arrived, finished his work, and left. After the thug departed, Jun-ho checked the table and found a file containing the address of Seong's hotel. Meanwhile, Seong was searching for his friends. He noticed the lights outside his hotel room were on, so he rushed back to his room, where he met the salesman. The salesman told him, "You should have gone to your daughter." Seong replied, "Thank you for telling me about the game. Now I'll put an end to your game forever." The salesman replied, "Don't thank me. I'm just an ordinary salesman." Seong said, "You're just a lapdog for your boss. So tell me, who is your boss?" The salesman revealed, "I've been killing people like this for a long time. Once I was asked to kill my father and I did. That's when I realized I was made for this work." Seong replied, "Whether you kill people like this or make them play games, both are wrong. You're just a lapdog." The salesman responded, "You think you're a hero for winning a mere game." Seong said, "What I've endured in the game is far beyond your understanding." The salesman proposed, "Let's play a game. There's 1 bullet in my gun. We'll take turns shooting ourselves and see who survives." Seong went first, shot himself, and survived. Then the salesman did the same. The game continued until only 2 chances were left. The salesman said, "Now you're scared. I even have my boss's card, which you can take after killing me, but I'll see if you play the game honestly or cheat." Seong shot himself again and survived. When the salesman was about to shoot himself, Seong taunted him, saying, "Now you're scared. Let's see if you act honestly or cheat. You have to admit that you're your boss's lapdog." The salesman then shot himself and died. Next, Jun-ho heard the sound of gunfire coming from Seong's hotel. He heads inside and starts checking all the rooms. In one of the rooms, he finds Choi, who says, "Don't kill me." Jun-ho then asks, "Where is Seong?" Choi replies, "He is in room number 410. Meanwhile, Seong takes a card out of the clothes of the murdered salesman. At that moment, Jun-ho arrives and says, "You are under arrest for the murder of the salesman." Suddenly, Choi hits Jun-ho on the head from behind, causing him to fall. Seong points a gun at Choi, who says, "Sir, I work for Yong, and the salesman killed Mr. Yong." Seong looks at the card, which contains a message about meeting at a club in 4 days. Next, as Seong is being investigated by Jun-ho, Jun-ho says, "I met you in the game too, wearing the guard's uniform. When I asked you, 'Do you know them?' and you replied, 'We don't know anyone by name.'" Seong believes Jun-ho and says, "This salesman selected everyone for the game and became a victim of his own game with me. Now I want to stop this game. Do you know who the mastermind is?" Jun-ho replies, "He is called the front man." Seong asks, "Have you seen his face?" Jun-ho lies, "No, I haven't." Seong then says, "The front man has given me a message to meet, and his boss told me that this game was created for very wealthy people. That's why we need to catch them." Jun-ho responds, "I have seen those VIPs, so I can help you. I can be very useful to you." Seong agrees and includes Choi and Jun-ho in his team. He shows them the money he won from the game and declares, "I will destroy them with this money and distribute the rest to you." Jun-ho says, "I want to take revenge for my brother," while Choi says, "I want to avenge my boss. We don't want the money." Jun-ho tells Choi, "You can't kill them with this gun because they have many weapons." At that point, Seong shows them all his weapons and says, "We will need the help of many people whom we can train to end this game." Elsewhere, we see a festival where many children are being entertained by performers in costumes. After returning to the dressing room and removing their costumes, a little girl approaches Noul. Her father then takes her away. The group discusses the girl and learns that she has blood cancer, and her father earned a little money by making drawings. Hearing this, Noul says, "That's so sad," and feels heartbroken. Next, Seong sees Aunt Geum, who is busy with her work. Her son arrives and says, "Mom." She becomes very happy. Seeing her happiness, Seong also feels content. Later, Seong meets an agent who says, "I have found Kang and her mother. They are in a North Korean prison, and my agents will bring them here soon." Seong feels happy and leaves. While leaving, Noul notices him. She then meets the same agent who says, "I searched extensively for your child in North Korea, but I couldn't find her." Noul gives him money and says, "Please try searching again." The agent responds, "You killed your own country's soldiers, became a traitor, left your child behind, and came here. Perhaps she is with the military now." Hearing this, Noul says, "No, that can't be," and becomes very upset. Noul is sitting in the car, looking at the picture of her daughter and husband, remembering them. Just then, a man comes and gives Noul a game card and leaves. Noul starts thinking about going there. On the other side, Jun-ho is with his mom. His mom says, "Maybe In-ho doesn't want to keep a relationship with us anymore because I am his stepmother." Jun-ho replies, "Mom, you never treated me any differently. It was just that we didn't have money at that time." His mom says, "In-ho saved your life by donating his kidney, but later his wife fell ill, and since In-ho didn't have money, she passed away." Jun-ho says, "In-ho could have sold his kidney to save his wife. He shouldn't have taken a bribe which caused him to lose his job." Jun-ho gets angry at him, saying, "He could sell his kidney and saved his wife's life, and let me die." The next day, Noul finishes her work at the festival and is leaving when she sees the same little girl being taken away in an ambulance. The girl's cap falls at the spot, so Noul goes to the hospital, places the cap near the girl, and looks at her. This reminds Noul of her own daughter. On the other side, Seong gets a tooth removed and has a tracker-embedded tooth fitted in its place so his team can track him anywhere. Later, he hires a large team, and they all are practicing diligently. Seong tells them, "Stay alert, because they can do anything to me." Meanwhile, Noul calls the number given on the card and prepares to enter the game. The next day, Seong goes to a club to meet the front man. It is Halloween, so everyone is in costumes. Seong and Choi start searching for the front man in the club. Jun-ho sees two people wearing Squid Game guards' uniforms enter and tells the club's bodyguards, "I am a police officer," before going inside. However, a guard takes Seong out of the place. When Jun-ho enters, he finds Choi unconscious there. Upon checking the tracker, he realizes they are taking Seong out through the back route. Jun-ho rushes out and tells his team, "Follow a limousine." Inside the car, the front man talks to Seong through a speaker. Seong says, "I have sat in this car before." The front man replies, "You could have enjoyed the money and lived a good life with your daughter." Seong says, "I want you to stop this game now." The front man says, "You people play this game out of your own will." Seong responds, "You make people feel their poverty and then tempt them to play this game. This is all wrong." The front man replies, "These people are all failures in life, and they are nothing but trash. As long as this world continues, this game will also continue." Meanwhile, Jun-ho and his team follow the car while Seong and the frontman continue their discussion. Jun-ho's team's car's tire gets punctured by a bullet, and Jun-ho's car tire also gets shot out. The frontman tells Seong, "Is this how you plan to stop the game?" Seong shoots at the driver, but the frontman tells him, "You can't stop this game with just one gun." Seong calmly says, "I want to play the game again. Take me to the game." The front man says, "You're acting like a hero, but you might die trying to be one." Seong replies, "My return to the game will double the enjoyment for your VIPs." The front man accepts his request, releases gas in the car, and knocks Seong unconscious. While driving, the front man looks at Seong and says, "Welcome back to the Squid Game." Jun-ho hears all their conversations. In the next scene, Noul entering a container and changing into the pink uniform of a game guard in room 11. It is revealed that Noul is not a player in the game but a member of the guard's team. When Jun-ho, his team, and Choi arrive at the dock, they suspect that Seong will be taken to the island to rejoin the game. Their goal is to locate Seong using his tracker and rescue him. There, they meet Captain Kami, whose ship they plan to use to head toward the island. On the other hand, Seong wakes up and finds himself back in the game. He is once again given the number 456. As Seong moves forward, he meets an astrologer named Chani, who tells him, "You are filled with pain and a desire for revenge. The souls that died here have called you." Meanwhile, guards enter to welcome the players. The players ask questions about the game rules. The guards explain the rules just like in the first season and mention each player is burdened with heavy debt. Most players owe millions, including Uncle John. Jun-ho and his team use Seong's tracker to locate the island and proceed to go there. On the other side, in the game, players are shown a box filled with money. They are told 6 games will be played over 6 days, and the winner will receive 45.6 billion won. This time, a new rule is added. After each game, voting will take place. If the majority of players decide to stop the game, the money won will be distributed among everyone, and the game will end. Hearing this rule, Seong is surprised, as it was added because of his arrival. In the game, a mother and son duo named Park and Gong also join. They have come to repay Park's debt, but hadn't informed each other about their participation. All the players sign forms. Seong notices that most of the rules are the same as before, but a new rule has been added specifically for him. A photo session begins. All the players proceed further. While taking photos, a famous rapper named Thanos is also present. Everyone wants to take pictures with him, but the guards say, "This is not a selfie camera." Thanos then promises, "I will photos with everyone after the game." Then everyone starts clicking their photos. A transgender woman named Kat is also present there. Park and Gong begin discussing about her. Later, everyone continues taking photos. Seong also takes his photo. At this point, the frontman watches all the players. When Seong moves forward, he meets his best friend Jung after 3 years. Jung had been lost since Seong disappeared. Seong tells him, "I will explain everything to you later." Jung replies, "My wife left me. When we get out of the game, I will tell you everything." Seong then says, "I know a lot about this place and you need to do exactly as I say." Jung agrees. From there, everyone comes to the ground. Thanos starts flirting with a girl named Eshi. Both of them notice a giant doll on the ground. Seong begins to understand the situation. Meanwhile, guards on the island move forward as Jun-ho monitors them using a drone. The guards find a man fishing and check the tracker. They discover the tracker inside the fish he caught. The man says, "A person gave me this bait for free." The guards inform Jun-ho about this. Back in the game, the players are told, "You will play red light, green light." Seong realizes something is wrong and removes his tooth. He discovers that the game officials have removed his tracker, which signals trouble ahead for him. After this, a guard wearing a black mask informs the frontman, "The game is ready." The frontman moves forward. Before the game begins, Seong tells everyone, "You must play the game as I say. Stop when I tell you to. If you move, you will be killed." Everyone finds Seong's words strange. Then the doll turns and the game starts. From his room, the frontman watches all the players. As the game begins, Seong convinces others to move forward without moving unnecessarily, ensuring the doll's motion sensors don't detect them. For a long time, no players are eliminated. However, the players still don't fully trust Seong and slowly move forward. Seong forms teams to protect them. During the game, a fly lands on Eshi's face. Thanos warns her about it, causing Eshi to laugh and move. She is immediately killed. Her death terrifies everyone, and many players attempt to run away. One by one, they are killed. However, most players who listened to Seong's advice survived. Among the guards who is killing them, one was a woman named Mai. Meanwhile, Seong continues leading the remaining players forward, but Thanos is scared. Then he consumes the pills hidden in his own cross. Then Seong says, "Everyone should walk in line so that our motion is less tracked." Everyone agrees, and there, Mai sees that Tom's father, Chad, also joins the game this time. Slowly, everyone is moving forward. Then Thanos knocks some people down and they die, while Thanos moves ahead dancing because he is entirely intoxicated. The remaining people are moving forward, saving their lives, but some are killed when they move. The snipers mostly shoot at their legs. Meanwhile, an injured man asks Seong, "Help me," but Seong hesitates. However, Seong goes back to get the injured man and moves ahead with him. Then Kat helps Seong, and together they carry the man forward and save his life before time runs out. But then there, Mai kills him with a headshot. Seeing this, the remaining guards get angry at her. The reason for this will be revealed later. On the other side, Seong and Kat are saddened by their failure to save the man. Meanwhile, all the sniper guards leave their rooms, and the new frontman, Black Mask, watches over them. On the other hand, Seong's team is discussing what to do next. Then Jun-ho says, "The game people have sent us here, meaning they won't be on a nearby island." Then Captain Kami says, "A storm is coming, so we should go back now." Everyone agrees. Meanwhile, the guards appear in front of everyone. As usual after the first game, Everyone is scared and requests the guards, "Please let us go back alive." The guards inform them only 365 players remain after the first game. Many people are crying heavily. Then Seong says, "There will be voting now. If the majority of players win, you will let them go back." This is rule number 3. The guards agree, but say, "First, we will show you the money you have won." They show everyone the money, which is a considerable amount, and say, "According to the new rules, all of you will get a share of this money, which is 24 million won." Many people feel this money is too little because they have a lot of debt. The guards say, "If you keep playing the game until the end, you will win more money." Voting starts there. Then, because of the reverse order, Seong is called first, and he votes to stop the game. Then astrologer Chani says, "We cannot change where we are destined to die." After voting, everyone is given a badge that they must attach to their jackets. Many people vote yes, which Seong sees. He becomes very angry and says, "This is not a children's game. People are actually being killed here." Then one man says, "You have scared us enough already." Other people say, "Seong, you seem to know a lot of things. Were you sent by the game people to scare us?" Then Seong's friend Jung says, "Seong saved all of you here." Then Gong also tells the people, "Support Seong so we can leave." Seong says, "I have played this game before, so I know everything." He reveals, 3 years ago, I came here, and there were players like you with me. All of them were killed." This makes everyone suspicious that Seong was the winner. Then Seong admits, "Yes, I won, so I know that if this game continues, you all will also die." Then John asks, "Where did your money go, and why did you return to this game?" Choi says, "You won before. Now, help us win the game." Then Uncle John announces, "The game will now begin," and everyone becomes excited to play. But Seong keeps requesting everyone, "Please stop the game. Our lives are in danger." The guard stops Seong because he is interrupting the voting process. Everyone goes to cast their votes, and many people vote both yes and no equally. As a result, out of 364, the votes are evenly divided between yes and no. Now everything depends on player number 1. Player number 1 steps forward and votes yes. Those wanting to play the game are very happy, while the others are sad. We then see the face of player number 1, who is none other than the frontman himself. At that moment, In-ho looks at Seong, who is sad. Now we see that all the dead bodies are being sent for burning. There we also see crosses on graves, which indicates that the business of extracting organs from corpses is still going on in full swing. There, Seong is sad because he wants to save everyone and escape from here. Then Jung says, "Whoever comes here mostly ends up dying." At that moment, In-ho arrives and says, "You can help us because you've already won this game before, and it was because of you that I pressed the button to stay here. Tell us what the next game will be." Then Seong says, "Last time we played the Dalgona game, where the triangle was the easiest and the umbrella was the hardest." Then In-ho says, "Only a fool would choose the umbrella because it was very difficult." At that moment, Seong remembers, "I was one of those fools." Then John says, "We won't tell this to too many people so that we can win." But Seong says, "I want to save as many people as I can from here, so I'll tell this to everyone." At that, John gets angry and storms out with some people. On the other side, Gong comes and gives Denny her food and says, "I've noticed that you're pregnant. If you need help, let me know because I've worked as a delivery nurse before. You shouldn't have come to such a place." Denny becomes very sad. At that moment, Park arrives, takes Gong away. On the other side, In-ho says to Seong, "Why did you come back?" On the other side, Seong says, "This money is not mine. It belongs to the people who died here, and someone else will win this money at their expense," which is wrong. Then In-ho says, "You're taking the game too seriously. You didn't kill those people." Seong replies, "You could have sent everyone home." In-ho says, "Many people here actually want to play the game, and even if they go back, they're not happy. I know this too." Then Young says, "Now that we're here, we should think about the next game. So, first we need to form a team." A boy named Lee comes over and says, "I'm a Marine officer. Please include me in your team." Also, Seong helped everyone a lot in the first game, and since then, I've been his fan. Then Young shows him his tattoo, revealing that he was also a Marine officer. At that moment, Thanos approaches with a boy named Malsu and meets Jack. Jack is a YouTuber who encouraged many Koreans to buy and sell crypto. However, due to a massive fraud, he ended up in debt and lost money from many Koreans, including Malsu and Thanos. That's why they are furious with Jack. Jack says, "I have no money, and I can't give you anything." Thanos mocks Jack, leading to a fight between them. Then Malsu and Thanos grab Jack and beat him up badly. In-ho arrives and says, "Stop!" Thanos tries to hit In-ho and mocks him, but In-ho grabs Thanos and Malsu and beats them up severely. Everyone praises In-ho's bravery. At night, everyone is looking at the money. In-ho starts talking to Seong and says, "I spoke to you very rudely before, and I'm sorry for that." Seong replies, "I didn't talk to you properly either." In-ho says, "My wife is very sick because her liver is failing and I need money. Then I found out she's pregnant, and I asked her to have an abortion. But she said, it's better for me to die than to have an abortion. So I borrowed money from many people, and during my job, a man helped me. Everyone thought I took a bribe, and because of that, I was dismissed from my honest workplace. That's why this place is my last hope for money. I understand your point that earning money from this death game is wrong, but right now, I desperately need money to save my wife and child." Hearing this, Seong also becomes emotional. On the other side, some guards are extracting organs from corpses. They realize that they've only recovered one organ so far. The other guards say, all these people arrived late after dying, and someone gave them headshots, which caused the organs to spoil quickly. One guard asks, "Who is the traitor causing us this loss?" They then report this to their boss, Black Mask, the new leader of their group. Black Mask discovers all these headshots were fired by guard number 11. Shortly after, Mai arrives to meet Black Mask. At Black Mask's command, Mai reveals her face, and Black Mask says, "You're ruining my work. Why are you shooting people directly in the head?" Mai replies, "They still had life left in them, so I had to kill them." Black Mask says, "I found you wounded in Korea and saved your life. I knew you had killed an entire military team in North Korea with a sniper and were on the verge of death in that battle. I also know you lost your daughter in Korea." Mai responds, "The frontman assigned me to kill people." Black Mask says, "They won't find out because my team is much better than the previous one. You need to stay alive to get your child back." Mai says, "I was told here that I would be tasked with killing the dirtiest and most worthless people in the world, and that's what I'm doing." Black Mask says, "Those people are bound to die anyway, so with their organs, we can save other lives. That's why you shouldn't have any problem with this." Then Mai leaves from there without saying anything. On the other hand, Jun-ho goes to meet his senior. The senior is angry because Jun-ho had disappeared again. Jun-ho says, "Sir, please come with me to the island to help." Then Jun-ho tells everything to the commissioner and asks for help so they can shut the game down. The commissioner says, "We didn't listen to you before, you've gone mad. That's why you need to see a psychiatrist. Also, we don't work anywhere without evidence." Then the commissioner leaves. The senior says, "Jun-ho, now you'll have to find a new job." Jun-ho talks to Choi, and both realize the police won't help them. That's why they decide to go with 2 teams to find the island as soon as possible. Choi informs Kami about this. Kami says, "Currently it's raining, and there's likely a storm in the sea, so we'll leave after 2 days. Choi says, "Our friend might be in danger there." Kami says, "Jun-ho told me about the man who has already won the game before." Choi says, "Yes, Seong is very smart, and all of us will work together." Kami says, "I didn't believe Jun-ho earlier." Choi says, "I felt the same, but actually those game guards came and beat me unconscious in the club. They are very dangerous because they even killed my friend." Kami says, "It's good that we have the best team of your soldiers." On the other hand, the Dalguna game starts with Seong on the island. Everyone has chosen triangles, and Seong picks up the first box to look at the triangle. Inside the triangle, there are many small triangles, and seeing them, everyone panics. Everyone shouts at Seong, and Seong gets scared. But this is actually a dream, and it's already morning. Meanwhile, Denny goes to meet Jack. Jack is the father of her child and also lost her money in crypto. Seeing Denny pregnant, Jack says, "You were going to get an abortion." Denny says, "No, I didn't get it done. I'll raise this child on my own because I'll get a lot of money from here." Jack gets worried about Denny and her child. Denny says, "I don't need your help because I know you never help." Meanwhile, everyone is asked to get ready for the second game. After some time, the guards take all the players to a big ground, which is very different from the previous game. Seong tells everyone, this is a different game. Then Uncle John gets angry and says, "You're useless." They then try to attack Seong, but In-ho intervenes. John takes everyone from there and tells them, form teams of 5 people each. In Seong's team, In-ho, Chang, and Lee agree to join. Now they just need one more person. On the other hand, Jack asks Denny to join his team. Denny says, "I don't want to stay with you." Jack says, "A lot of people are after me. That's why I disappeared and couldn't talk to you." Denny says, "I thought you were dead, and since you disappeared, I've lost trust in you." Then they leave from there. Meanwhile, a girl named Maddie tells Kat, "Make a team with me." Kat agrees. On the other hand, a Marine officer is ready to join Seong's team, and they are about to bring him in. But then Denny comes and says, "I'm pregnant, and because of that, no one is taking me, so please take me in your team." They decide to take Denny. Elsewhere, Kat and Maddie approach Park and Gong, and they form a team. Then Chani forcibly becomes their 5th member, making it a 5-person team. It is announced that the legs of all 5 members will be tied together, and they must move forward as a team. In the circle, every 10 meters, there will be a game, and there will be a total of 5 games. Each game must be played by 1 player from the team, and they must complete the circle to win. The names of the games are announced, which are simple games like Dogji. Everyone decides which player is an expert in which game. After some time, the first team is ready, and 2 teams play in 2 circles simultaneously. The first team picks Dogji's card and wins Dogji directly, while the second team struggles in Dogji. The first team starts playing the stone-throwing game but misses this time. Because of this, they must retrieve the stone, which wastes a lot of time. Still, the first team clears that game. In the third game, they must spin a dice and catch it together. A girl from their team spins the dice and catches it, winning the game. Then they proceed to the 4th game, where they must spin a top using a string. Their member fails on the first attempt, but succeeds in spinning the top properly on the second try. The second team is still stuck in the second round. When time runs out, the second team is killed. The first team also gets stuck in the 4th stage, and they are killed too. The deaths of both teams leave everyone in shock. This stresses Thanos, and he takes a Trux pill. Then Malsu says, "Sir, give me a Trux pill too, because my hand is shaking." Thanos gives Malsu a pill as well, which energizes Malsu. Then they take all the dead players away. Among them, 1 player is alive but severely injured. That player is placed in a box, marked with a cross, so the guards can harvest their organs. But Mai arrives and shoots the injured player in the head, killing them. This enrages the Black Mask guards, and Black Mask sees all of this through a camera. Next, it's Kat's team's turn. Everyone is scared. Gong and Park befriend everyone. Then Kat says, "We can do this." They move forward together. In the first game, Maddie has to play Dogji. She struggles to flip the card, and Kat says, "Hold your card upside down." Then Maddie holds the card upside down, plays, and they win directly. After this, they move forward, where Park throws the stone but misses. Kat manages everyone, and they go back to retrieve the stone. Then Gong tells Park, "Remember your enemies who had stolen your money." Park then wins the stone game too. In the third game, Gong has to spin the dice, but fails to do it properly. Then Park says, "Mom, remember the girl Dad left us for?" Gong, in anger, spins the dice repeatedly and catches all 5, and they win the game again. This win makes the entire team very happy. Next, they move on to the 4th game. Here, Chani has to throw the top. Kat tries to help her, but Chani is very arrogant and starts yelling at everyone. She is unable to prepare the top properly and becomes scared. She says, "We're all gonna die." Kat slaps her multiple times and says, "If you give up, I'll kill you myself." Chani prepares the top again, throws it, and it spins properly. They win the 4th game as well. Then they reach the 5th game, where they have to spin the pom-pom using their feet. Kat tells everyone to turn their faces away so no one can see her. After this, Kat easily spins the pom-pom 5 times with her feet. In this way, they win all 5 games. Everyone is very happy with this first victory. They move forward and win the game before time. Slowly, one by one, all the teams begin playing matches. Some teams win, while many lose and are killed. In the final round, it's Seong's team's turn. They wish the opposing team all the best so both teams can win. Jun-ho says, "Seong, you're a winner, and that's why we'll definitely win this game." Both teams move forward. Denny wins Dogji directly in the first round. In the second round, Young wins the stone game. In the third round, Lee easily spins the dice. This game is for girls, and Lee says, "I grew up with 4 sisters, so I'm an expert at this game." They reach the 4th round with plenty of time left. It's time to spin the top, which Jun-ho is supposed to do. Jun-ho tries to spin the top, but fails. He tries again, but the top moves backward. The 3 of them go back to retrieve the top. They try for the 3rd time, but Jun-ho fails again. A lot of time is wasted because of this. Jun-ho, frustrated, starts slapping himself. Then Seong says, "Remember how you used to win this game as a child?" Jun-ho recalls it, throws the top again, and they win this time. Now they are ready for the final game. Seong starts spinning the pom-pom and easily completes 4 spins, but on the 5th attempt, the pom-pom is about to fall forward. Just then, Jun-ho pushes Seong's leg forward to touch the pom-pom and they win the game. The 5 of them win the game before time and are very happy. The other team loses and is killed. On the other hand, Maddie says, "Kat, you're very skilled at playing these games." Kat says, "I've been winning these games since childhood." Gong asks, "Why didn't you spin the pom-pom in front of everyone with your feet?" Kat says, "I haven't had surgery yet for which I needed money. If everyone had paid attention, they would have found out about us." Gong becomes confused. Seong returns with his team. Uncle John and many others are angry to see them alive because their money will now be divided. On the other hand, Mai is in her room. 2 guards arrive and grab her. They remove her mask. One guard says, "This girl is very beautiful. Remember, if you don't help us, we'll kill you." Then Mai says, "I'll report you." Then the guard says, "We work for your boss." And then Mai starts fighting with both of them, but they both catch Mai and injure her. Then they say, "Don't come in our way from today onwards, or we'll forcefully finish you off." After that, they leave from there. In the hall, Seong's team asks Denny, "Are you okay?" Then Denny says, "Yes, and you all are very good." Then they start praising Denny's playing in the Dogji game, in which even Lee is a huge fan of the entire team. At that point, the guards come and inform 110 players have been killed in the second game, and now only 255 players are left. If they leave from here, each person can get 78 million won. Then the others say, "That's very little money," and they also says, "The game organizers haven't calculated properly." Hearing this, Seong becomes upset with their words. The guards say, "Our calculations are completely correct. Now there will be voting, in which you will decide whether you want to stay for more money or go home with this money." Then Seong tells his team, "Let's go back from here. I'll give you all the money." Then they agree and decide to vote to go home. Voting starts with number 1. In-ho votes to go home, and one by one everyone votes. There, Gong tells Park, "Son, if we combine our money, your debt will be paid off, so you should vote to go home." However, Park votes to play the game. This makes many people angry, and the reason for this will be revealed later. Then one by one, everyone votes. Still, many people want to play the game. Then Seong and In-ho get angry at them and say, "After so many people have died, you still want to play the game? If you don't stay here, you'll all be killed." Then John says, "I have a lot of debt, which others probably do too. This little money won't help us. We need more money. The money keeps increasing after each game, so we'll play the next game and win more money." Then a man named Hee-eun says, "If I leave, I'll die anyway." The others say, "The games here are quite simple. Half of the people are still alive, meaning half of the people can win the money." Then John says, "Yes, that's why we'll play one more game and then think about going home." Most people get ready for this. Voting continues for a long time. Seong's last vote doesn't matter because most people vote to play the game. After some time, everyone is given food. There, a girl named Jerry becomes friends with a girl named Kim Si. They are both on Thanos' team, but they completely dislike Thanos and Malsu. Meanwhile, Gong are upset with Park. Park says, "Mom, I have a lot of debt, which I didn't tell you about. The people I borrowed from are very dangerous. If I don't return the money, they'll take out my organs and sell them. After the next game, we'll definitely go back." His mother, reluctantly, agrees for her son. She knows that Park doesn't care about her death, but still, her son is everything to her. On the other hand, Seong's team is upset with Young because Young voted to play the game. Young says, "Seong, forgive me. I borrowed a lot of money from someone, and I have to pay him back or he'll kill my family." Then In-ho says, "You broke your promise, this is wrong. But still, we couldn't have won with just your vote." Young says, "You're right. Next time, we'll play together and win the game to leave." Then Seong says, "In the next game, we might have to kill each other." Everyone feels sad after hearing this. In-ho says, "We shouldn't take stress about the future." They give Denny extra food so that her baby gets some strength. Then Gong asks Kat, "How much debt do you have? Because my useless son has completely ruined my life." Then Kat says, "I hadn't told anyone that I am a girl from the inside, but slowly everyone found out, and then everyone started hating me. Then my family and friends also left me, and after that, I started saving money to become a girl, and because of this, I have a lot of debt, and my surgery is still not complete. That's why I want to earn money here and shift to Thailand, and I will complete my surgery there. Also, since I'm in the army, I have a connection with a man there." Then Park says, "There are many people like you there, and they are beautiful too." Then Kat says, "Yes." Maddie says, "Kat, you are very beautiful." Then Kat becomes sad upon hearing this, and Gong says, "Yes, you look very nice." Then she starts shouting at Park. By then, Thanos arrives with his team and starts troubling Jack again, saying, "You want to leave here, but you have a huge debt. Also, you will have to pay back our money." Then Jack says, "I had said that the Bitcoin price would go up and you bought it then, and at the right time, you didn't sell it because of greed. That's why you suffered the loss. It's not my fault." Then Thanos says, "I don't know about that, but now you are my slave, and you will win 45.6 billion won here and give it to me." Then Jack says, "If I win that money, you will be dead, idiot. And maybe that's why you were kicked out of the Korea Idol show." Then Thanos moves to hit Jack, but In-ho comes with his team. Thanos threatens Jack and leaves from there. After a while, Seong tells everyone, "Tonight we will have to take turns to guard because things keep getting messed up here and people can kill anyone for money. Also, this is part of the game, so the guards don't do anything." Hearing this, everyone gets scared, and Seong says, "I have seen these things many times where people become animals for money." And In-ho agrees with Seong. At night, Gong has to go to the washroom. Then Park says, "Mom, there will be danger there." Then Gong takes out a knife hidden in her hairband and says, "I brought this for trouble." At the same time, Denny also has to go to the washroom. Both of them go and inform the guards. Then the guards refuse, and Gong starts emotional blackmailing the guards, which makes them give permission. Then Kat also arrives, and the three of them go to the washroom. Gong is supporting Denny, and Kat asks, "Is she sick?" Then Gong says no, she is in her 9th month of pregnancy. Then Kat is shocked upon hearing this. On the other side, Seong and Jung are on guard at night. Then Jung says, "Seong, my brother, if you want, you can sleep. I still remember the last time you came to my hotel to ask for money, and I couldn't give it to you. Otherwise, your mother would have been saved, and you would have been there, but honestly, I didn't have money at that time." Then Seong says, "I know." Then Jung says, "You have so much money, so why did you come back? Because with that much money, you could have done anything." Then Seong says, "If I die in front of you, what will you do with this money?" Jung says, "Don't say such things, we will go out together." Seong says, "I also want to take everyone out of here together, but now I don't think I can change these people." Jung says, "Years ago, we were on a strike in the factory, and the company was even offering us money to end the strike, but still we stayed every night. One day I was about to leave the strike, but then I saw you in a dream crying to your mother and asking for food. I felt pity for your poverty, so I stayed." Seong says, "I'm not that much of a coward." Jung says, "Yes, you are, and because of you, my life got ruined." Seong says, "Because of you, my wife left me, as you used to make me drink every day." Jung laughs and says, "You have become quite serious, but now you're talking like the old Seong." Seong becomes silent. Then the two of them start reminiscing about their old days. Jung says, "You're stingy," and their friendship remains just as strong. They even feel this while sleeping. On the other hand, Gong notices that Danny is still in the washroom. And then, along with Kat, they check on Danny, who is very scared due to her pregnancy. Gong then comforts Danny. The next day, Jun-ho is about to set out with Kami on 2 boats to explore all the islands in the sea. Then, everyone there gets ready and moves forward. Meanwhile, in the hall, everyone is told to prepare for the game. On the other hand, Mai and the other guards also get ready and move forward, bringing everyone into a very large hall. They are supposed to play the Miguel game today. In this game, there is a large sphere on which everyone has to stand. Then, when the sphere rotates, everyone is assigned a number, and based on those numbers, teams are formed. The teams then have to enter any one room and lock it to win. Everyone starts devising their own strategies. Then everyone is made to stand on the sphere and it rotates. The exciting game begins and everyone is thrilled. Then the first number is given, 10. They have 30 seconds to enter a room and complete the game. Seong's team meets Kat's team, and the 10 of them go into a room and lock it from the inside. Those who remain outside are killed by the guards. Seeing this, Seong becomes very scared. At that moment, Chani says, "You all are alive because of me." And then, looking at Seong, she says, "You are still alive, which means something special is about to happen here, and you have been sent here for a special purpose." Then she looks at pregnant Danny. A little later, the injured people are placed in a grave. This time, without any disturbance from Mai, crosses are made properly, and the guards send them to harvest organs. Then round 2 begins, and this time the number 4 is given. Most people start breaking their teams and entering rooms. Therefore, Kat also leaves Chani, and the 4 of them enter a room. In-ho tells Seong's team to go and then leaves. Seong steps outside the room and looks for In-ho, but he is nowhere to be found. They go back into the room and survive, while the people outside are killed. In one room, there are 3 people, and then the guards enter and kill all 3 inside the room. A little later, everyone comes out. Kat sees that Chani has joined another team. In-ho meets Seong, and they are happy to see each other. Seong becomes worried about In-ho, who says, "I easily make good friends with people. They feel happy." Then Jack notices that Danny's team members are taking good care of her. After some time, the game starts again, and this time the number 3 is given. Everyone starts breaking their teams and moving forward. Gong and Park are searching for a specific number. 2 people come and try to take Park with them, and Park goes along. Gong feels sad because her son left her. Then, Seong and In-ho come and bring Gong into a room with them, saving her. Gong is deeply upset about her son leaving, but thanks In-ho and Seong. In-ho asks Gong about Park. She says he went to find a partner for himself and didn't return. In-ho understands that Park might have abandoned his mother, but Gong gets angry and says, "My son is very good." In-ho apologizes. After some time, everyone comes out. Gong meets Kat and Maddie and they say, "Chad saved us," and now Chad has also joined their group. Then Park arrives. Gong meets him, and her motherly love forgives Park. However, Park feels deeply sad for abandoning his mother, and Gong comforts him. After a while, the next round begins, and this time the number 6 is given. Kat and Seong's teams play together. They tell the elderly and women to form groups of 6 and move forward. During this, Maddie is hit and falls outside. Kat stays back for her, but Jack pushes her aside and locks himself in a room with 5 others, taking Maddie's place. The room locks, leaving Maddie outside. The guards kill Maddie on the spot. This enrages Kat, who lashes out at Jack. Jack says, "I saved you all because Maddie couldn't make it this far. If I hadn't stepped in, all 5 of you would have been killed too." Denny and Lee find Jack's reasoning valid, and the others also support him. After some time, everyone comes out, scared, and now the final round is about to begin, with 126 people remaining. In-ho says, "They will probably choose number 2 now because there are 50 rooms here. At most, 100 people can survive and the rest will be killed." Seong also agrees with him. Then the number 2 is announced. Everyone pairs up as they see fit and starts running. In-ho is with Young. Suddenly, a man barges into their room. Now there are 3 people in the room. Young blocks others from entering from outside, and at the same time, In-ho grabs and kills the man inside. Seeing In-ho's power, Young becomes frightened. Meanwhile, the graves are sent for burning, but the special cross-marked graves are sent for organ extraction. Everyone returns. Seong says, "We need to count the people so we can prepare for the voting." At sea, Jun-ho, Kami, and others are using drones to search the island to locate the game island. Kami is very impressed with the drone technology. Jun-ho says, "We've already checked many islands before. This time, we'll look at the remaining islands to find the real one." They move forward. In the hall, Denny meets Jack. Jack, apologizing, says, "We'll both leave here together, invest our money in stocks, and live a better life. We'll also raise our child." Denny says, "You only want my money so you can pay off your debts." Jack says, "That's not true. I want money for all of us." Denny replies, "Do whatever you want with your money. I'll take care of my child with mine." Kat is deeply saddened by Maddie's death, as Maddie was the first to befriend her. Chani comes and says, "All of you will die like Maddie because you betrayed me. I curse you all." Gong retorts, "Your words won't affect us." Young counts all the players. Their side has fewer players. In-ho says, "We can try to convince people to stop the game, but I don't think it will work because people like John want the game to continue and will turn everyone against us." Seong says, "We can't just sit here. We have to convince them." In-ho says, "If we force people to vote, a fight will break out before voting even begins." Lee and Jung also tell Seong to stay calm. Meanwhile, Jun-ho sees a door on an island. He is shocked and decides to check the door with his team. On the other side, the guards announce that only 100 people are left. If they go back, each will receive 365 million won. The voting begins. Seong is the first to vote to go back. Others also cast their votes. The voting becomes very critical. Then Thanos comes dancing and casts his vote. The voting is about to end. Then, the other guards tell Mai, "Keep working like this and don't interfere with us at all." Mai becomes very restless after going inside. On the other hand, Jun-ho moves forward with his team. They see a door leading to a basement. 2 boys go to open it, and at the same time, a big explosion occurs. Inside the game, during the voting, Gong convinces Park to vote to stop the game. Park votes to stop, resulting in a tie. However, the next player moves forward and decides to continue the game, influenced by Chani. Now the vote in favor of continuing the game exceeds by 1. As always, In-ho steps forward again. Jung gets scared after seeing In-ho. He goes to tell Lee and Seong about how In-ho killed a man in front of him. But before he can say anything, In-ho returns and casts his vote, tying the count again. The guards announce, "Today is a tie. Tomorrow morning, there will be another round of voting. You can think about your decision until then." Seong realizes that the game organizers are trying to make them fight amongst themselves. On the other hand, Jun-ho and his team load the corpses back onto the boat. Kami says, "We should go back now." Their military team leader says, "We're all fine. We have to avenge our friends." David says, "The game organizers probably know we're after them. They've trapped us here. I don't think they'll be nearby." Jun-ho says, "From now on, we won't use radios or mobile phones so that they don't find out about us." In the hall, everyone is given food. Seong asks Jung what he was about to tell him. Jung doesn't say anything because he's scared of In-ho. Instead, Jung thanks In-ho for voting correctly. Chad is also with them. He asks, "What will happen next?" In-ho replies, "By tomorrow, we'll probably have to convince someone to join our side." Park begins persuading others. He says, "If one of your men comes here, we'll win the money and go back. I'll throw a party for all of you." John says, "If all of you die, we'll get double the money." Lee says, "If you don't join our team, you could be killed by tomorrow." At that moment, a man challenges Lee, and an argument starts between them. Seong notices that the organizers have given forks along with the food, so people can use them as weapons. Meanwhile, in the restroom, Thanos and Mal-Su are bullying Jerry because Jerry voted not to play the game. They force him to vote in favor of continuing the game. Suddenly, Jack intervenes and stops Thanos. Jack says, "You can't threaten someone into voting." Thanos threatens him back. Jack calls his people and accuses Thanos of cheating in the voting. This sparks an argument among everyone. Thanos threatens Jack, saying, "I'll kill your pregnant girlfriend." This leads to a fight between the two. People start attacking each other. Thanos and Jack fight violently. Thanos beats Jack severely. When Thanos tries to kill Jack, Jack stabs him in the face with fork, killing him. Then Jack throws Thanos away after killing him. The others start fighting and killing each other. Mal-Su notices that Thanos is dead and takes Thanos' fork and cross-chain. He begins attacking the others with the fork. This entire fight is happening under the watchful eyes of the guards in the restroom, and it is happening safely. After a while, the number of dead people in this fight is announced. Everyone is confused about how these people died. Then, the people from both groups come out of the restroom and explain that the groups provoked each other through the voting, which led to the fight and the deaths. John says, "We need to count our dead people to understand the impact on the voting." Meanwhile, that night, a guard on the boat is feeling nauseous. He goes outside and notices that their weapon room is open. Upon entering the guard room, he sees Kami messing with their drones, but the guard is drunk. Kami, making excuses, takes him outside and then kills the guard, throwing him into the water. In reality, Kami is working for the game organizers, and In-ho sent him to keep an eye on and protect his brother, Jun-ho. Choi asks Kami why he went outside. Kami says, "I heard the sound of ship equipment arriving, so I went outside." Choi believes him. In the hall, John finds out that 3 of their people are dead, and 2 from Seong's team are dead, meaning they have 1 extra vote. They are happy. But the guards announce, "It is getting dark, so everyone must go to their beds and sleep." Seong notices that John's people are glaring at them. On the other hand, the guards move the organs through the water route and inform the Black Mask about it. The guards are happy that Mai doesn't interfere with their plans this time. After this, Black Mask arrives and orders the guards to move forward, as their special game is about to begin soon. Seong tells his people that these people are planning to kill them tonight. Everyone gets scared. In-ho says, "We should kill them before they kill us." Everyone prepares for this, but Seong says, "This is wrong." Then In-ho says, "There is no other way to escape from here." Seong says, "The game organizers want us to do this, so we should kill them." Lee asks, "Where are they?" Seong says, "They will be in the control room above. Their leader is the frontman. If we capture and kill him, the game will end." In-ho asks, "How will we do that since they have weapons?" Seong says, "We will kill the guards and take their weapons." In-ho says, "It will be dangerous. People will die." Seong says, "We can't avoid killing each other. Besides, the game organizers won't expect us to attack them." In-ho says, "You're right. They won't expect it." Seong says, "This is our last chance to end the game. I have a plan to take the guns from the guards." Meanwhile, Mal-Su takes drugs from Thanos' box to fight more viciously. By then, Denny comes to help Jack as he is in a very bad condition. Then, the lights go out. Black Mask sees that everyone is moving forward. Some people from Seong's team are hiding under the beds, which is Seong's plan to keep them safe. The players are killing those who are not playing, but Seong doesn't help anyone because some of them may die. If Seong's team survives, they can stop the game and save more people. Gong tells Park the game organizers won't allow too many people to die, because that would affect their game too. By then, Malsu goes to kill Kim Si. Jerry distracts him by throwing a glass. And then Kim Si slaps Malsu, but Malsu kills Kim Si with forks, and Jerry feels sad about it. The guards arrive and begin to stop everyone. The guards first stop the living people, then check the ears of the dead. Among the dead, Seong's team is hiding. They move forward, attacking the guards and taking their guns, and start helping each other. In-ho fights the guards to save Seong, and after killing all the guards, they take their guns. Then they begin to kill the remaining guards, and upon seeing this, Black Mask calls all the guards back, causing the door to close, and one guard gets trapped inside. Seong leaves him alive. Seong's team wants to kill the people who killed their own, but Seong stops them. Then a man says, "These people are beasts chasing money. They don't care about anyone's death." Seong replies, "We didn't take these weapons for them. If we kill these people, we will be no different from them." Seong calms everyone down and gathers the guards' weapons. He says, "We will go to the game organizers' headquarters and capture them alive to kill them, which will end this game forever. And anyone who knows how to use a gun, please come and help us." No one from John's team agrees, and Denny also refuses to let Jack join. Then Jung steps forward and says, "Like all of you, we are also scared. After this, we won't get another chance to go out, so please support us." Some of the boys move forward. Park also wants to go, but Gong stops his son. Then, Seong tells everyone to use the weapons and walkie-talkies. Then Kat teaches everyone how to shoot guns so they can kill the game organizers. They also need to keep magazines ready so that they don't run out of bullets. Chad asks her, "Who taught you how to use a gun?" Kat replies, "I was a sergeant officer in the military." Then Seong sees a guard's face who is just a child. He tells the guard, "Take us to your leader." The guard opens the door, and they exit the hall. Slowly, everyone is heading upstairs when the guards attack them. They kill the guards right there, and Kat shoots and destroys all the cameras. They move forward, and a guard tells Seong, "The control room is ahead. You can open it with my mask." He hands over his mask. At that moment, In-ho, who is the front man, appears in front of the guard, and the guard gets extremely scared. The guards attack him and kill him. They start killing the other players, and a gunfight begins. Seong says, "I will go with 2 people to the control room. Until then, you all stay here and hold them off." Then he moves forward. When the bullets run out, the players start sharing magazines with each other. Seong uses the guard's mask, and a path opens. With Jung, he moves ahead. Seong also informs In-ho about this. The guards attack Seong and Jung, and they both start killing guards. They are heading upstairs, and Black Mask is watching them. He sends a large army of guards to the main door. Meanwhile, outside, the guards and players are fighting, and the bullets are running out. They want to reach Seong, but In-ho says, "We shouldn't move forward without a plan." Meanwhile, Seong and Jung also reach the guards and start fighting them. Seong runs out of bullets. The same happens to the others. Lee runs out of bullets and Jung calls out to In-ho. In-ho says, "We don't have bullets." Seong says, "Guards always keep extra magazines in their pockets. Send someone to the hall to get bullets from the dead guards." In-ho tells the players this, and then he moves forward with 2 people. Kat is going to get the magazines when Lee, scared, says, "I've run out of bullets. I will go to the hall and get a magazine." He moves forward. Meanwhile, Seong has no bullets, so Jung covers him, and Seong takes magazines from the dead guards near the stairs. Then in the hall, Lee is taking magazines from all the dead guards. Park asks him, "What are you doing?" Then Lee says, "We've run out of bullets." Park then starts helping them. Meanwhile, Seong returns with the magazines. They start fighting with the guards there. At that point, In-ho arrives and says, "I saw a map on the way, and there might be a back route to the control room. I will go there and kill the guards from the back to clear the path." Seong agrees and hands In-ho his last remaining magazine, now leaving Lee in charge. In-ho then moves forward with 2 guards and the magazines. On the other side, Lee fills all the magazines and prepares to go upstairs. As he heads up, he starts hearing gunshots and gets very scared. Kat calls him up on the walkie-talkie, but Lee throws the walkie-talkie away in fear and retreats, which frustrates Kat, and she decides to go down herself to get the magazines. At the same time, In-ho sends 2 players to kill the guards, but from behind, In-ho kills both players and leaves them there, as his bullets have run out. Then In-ho uses Seong's magazine and apologizes to him over the walkie-talkie. Seong thinks that In-ho is injured. In-ho let him hear the voice of another injured player, and with a gunshot, he kills him. This leads Seong to believe that In-ho is dead, and he is deeply saddened by the loss of his friend. Afterward, In-ho gives an order to Black Mask, "Send more guards to the hall." He then moves forward. Meanwhile, Kat returns to the hall and finds Lee frightened. Lee shows her the magazines, and they prepare to leave, but a large number of guards arrive and order everyone to go to bed in fear. Kat is ready to fight, but Gong stops her, saying, "Son, please don't go and kill them like that." Kat agrees with Gong's advice. On the other side, the guards have surrounded the remaining players, and they are badly injured. They are about to run out of bullets, so they are considering surrendering. Chad sees that one player has taken his own life. Then Chad goes to surrender with his teammate, but his teammate is killed. Chad tells the guards about his sick son, Tom, and the guards kill him as well. Meanwhile, Seong and Jung are still fighting, but both run out of bullets and learn about the other players' deaths. Both surrender as well. Then, the frontman himself appears before them, looking at Seong. He says to him, "You must have had fun coming back into the game." Then he shows Seong the gun and says, "Now you will pay for your actions." And with that, the frontman shoots Jung. This enrages Seong immensely, but the guards overpower him and frontman exits the scene. Seong screams in anguish, devastated by the death of his best friend Jung. With that, Squid Game Season 2 ends here. In the post-credit scene of the series, we see the doll from the Red Light Green Light game, Yong Yi, and it is revealed that in the next game, Yong Yi's boyfriend Cholsu will also be introduced. The details of the next game will be revealed in Season 3. How much rating would you give this drama, and which was your favorite scene? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos.